On the night Ryan Carter terminated our mate bond, Seattle was drowning in a storm.
Emma Reed, you should know. We've been wrong for each other for a long time.
I said nothing. 3 years ago, when I married into the Carter family, Ryan held my hand under the moonlight and said,
I will protect you forever.
Later, he took over the Riverbend Pack medical business and started to despise me for my weak bloodline. Then, he became entangled with a female werewolf, and I caught them in a compromising situation. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But Ryan just said coldly,
Which successful alpha doesn't have a few women around? Emma, I spoiled you.
From that day on, everyone in the Carter family began to say I was childish. I felt misunderstood and alone. Ryan's mother said,
You came from a humble family and was unworthy of Riverbend's Luna position.
His sister said, You had lived off their family for 3 years and knew nothing except cooking and taking care of children.
Low-ranking Omega, you deserve to be kicked out!
Even the nephew I had cared for 2 years shouted at me before I left. I thought I could no longer feel pain, but those words still pierced my heart like a thin needle. Ryan tossed the termination agreement in front of me.
Sign it.
I lowered my eyes to the cold words on the paper. Mate bond termination. Renounce Riverbend Pack protection. Renounce shared property. Never claim that title of Riverbeck Luna again. Ryan, what have I been to your family these past 3 years?
Emma, stop making yourself sound so pitiful. You lived well in the Carter family for 3 years. You lacked nothing in food, clothing, or comfort. You're the one being unreasonable and forcing things to the point of terminating the bond. If you realize your mistake in the future and are willing to lower your head to my mother and sister, I can consider taking you back.
So in his eyes, my 3-year marriage had only overly been an act of charity. I picked up the pen and signed my name, Emma Reed. The shallow blue pack mark on my chest flared like fire for a moment. Then, it went out. The doors opened. Rain and cold wind rushed in together. Ryan never looked at me again. I dragged my suitcase out of the council hall, and the doors slowly closed behind me. At that moment, I finally understood. I had simply left a place that had never treated me like family. I had no car, no cash, and my phone battery was only 7%. I walked along the street until my ankles were numb from the rain. A laundromat down the street still had its lights on. I stopped, wanting to take shelter from the rain. I saw a job posting on the notice board, soaked by rain. Caring for a cursed Alpha Heir. Patience required, shelter provided. I stared at the words shelter provided for a long time. Shelter provided. At that moment, those words were more tempting than any high-paying job. I looked down at my rain-soaked shoes. Then I tore off the contact information at the bottom of the notice. That same night, dragging my suitcase behind me, I followed the address and headed for the territory of Northern Crown Pack. Until the black iron gates slowly opened before me, I realized this was no ordinary wolf pack. This was the home of the Northern Crown Pack Alpha. I realized I was stepping into the domain of the Northern Crown Pack Alpha. The Northern Crown estate stood beside a lake. Its enormous glass walls reflected the rain-soaked night and the snow-covered mountains. Dark pine forests surrounded the entire manor like a silent pack of beasts. I stood at the entrance, completely drenched, looking as miserable as a small abandoned animal. The door opened. An elderly butler with silver hair stood inside. His sharp eyes looked as if they could see straight through me.
I'm Harris. Mr. Blackwood is hiring a caretaker for the child, not looking for a wife for himself. Do not entertain any inappropriate thoughts about the Alpha King.
He looked me up and down before speaking coldly. I understand. I only need a job and a place to stay.
A lot of women came before you. Half tried to win the child over, the other half tried to get into Mr. Blackwood's bed. In the end, every one of them was sent away.
I found myself thinking that this job sounded better and better. I had just broken a mate bond. I wasn't foolish enough to fall for another alpha right away. After all, he was Ethan Blackwood, the Alpha King of the Northern Crown Pack, the ruler of the most powerful pack on the west coast of North America. People said he was cold, powerful, and completely uninterested in women. He controlled Northern Crown's medical network, security forces, and private hospital alliance. Harris led me through the long corridor. I reached the dining room doorway and heard a low, weary voice.
Leo, just one bite.
No one answered.
Half a bite then.
Still nothing. I stepped inside and saw a most peculiar sight. Ethan Blackwood, holding a silver bowl, seated at the exaggerated black wooden table, his expression cold, and beneath the table, a small boy, about 4 years old, curled up. Then I noticed something strange. His tiny fingers weren't entirely human. Sharp little claws peeked from his fingertips.
Sir, another applicant has arrived. Seems compliant enough.
Harris whispered. Ethan slowly lifted his head. I finally saw his face. He was even more handsome than in the financial reports, and more imposing. His rolled-up sleeves and unbuttoned collar exuded a cold, weary elegance.
Name?
His gaze landed on me, only for a second. Emma Reed. He set down the silver bowl.
Try.
This was apparently the interview. I took a deep breath. Then I accepted the bowl and crouched beside the table. The little boy immediately backed away.
Go away! I don't want another nanny.
I didn't move any closer, and instead I glanced around the room. There were wolf warrior toys everywhere. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not here to feed you. The little boy froze. I scooped up a bite of pasta and held it toward the toy. I'm here to feed Captain Wolf. Captain Wolf is supposed to protect the Northern Crown, but he doesn't eat and can't even extend his claws. How can he protect the pack like that? Oh, Snowfun wants some greens too? Certainly. Eating greens boosts running speed by 20%. The little boy finally couldn't hold back.
That's nonsense. Wolves don't eat vegetables.
Real wolves can eat anything. Only pups insist on eating meat.
I'm not a baby pup.
Oh? Then you should eat even more than Captain Wolf. The little boy froze for a moment. His eyes immediately flitted toward the bowl in my hand. I continued feeding Captain Wolf. Captain Wolf took another bite. Now he can defeat 2 bad wolves. The little boy finally couldn't take it anymore.
Give me that. Why didn't you give me any vegetables? Were you afraid I would surpass Captain Wolf?
Ethan set down his glass. For the first time, he looked at me seriously. There was finally a trace of warmth in those deep gray eyes.
You stay.